Hello beautiful people, welcome back to today's tutorial. Thank you to my returning subscribers. I really appreciate you guys. For those that are stopping by for the first time, please don't leave without subscribing. It means a lot to me. So today we are going to learn how to make this particular gown. If you look at it very well, it has zipper at the back. It's a bubu gown and the gown is flayed out. So I'm going to teach you people how to achieve this gown. So this is the fabrics we are going to use for this. I've already put it on fold. I have two folds here. This is for my front and this is for my back. You can see I've already marked out my zipper allowance, and that's where my front started. So now I've already marked out my, because I will need to make use of my hip measurement and my knee measurement. You can see I've already marked them out. This is my hip line and this is my knee line. So, and this is the full length. This is the full length of my gown. So we don't need bust and waist for now. When we need it is when we want to shape it, and you know that the shaping is in front. So what will actually determine your fold is where you want the sleeve to be, because when you are folding, when you are making this type of gown, you start from where you want the sleeve to get to, then measure, cut across your back to the other sleeve. That is what will determine how to fold this particular gown. So I put mine on fold. I'm just using the Ankara fabrics as it is now. I'm not cutting out anything from it. So now I'm also going to alter the size of mine. It will not be exactly like this one. Mine will have some alterations. So now I'm going to take my shoulder. The shoulder I'm using is 8.5 inches. Then I'm adding half an inch for joining to it. That will make it 9 inches. This is the shoulder. So the neck width I'm taking is 3.5 inches. I'm starting, all my measurement is starting from this zipper allowance line. This. I'm not starting from here. So the shoulder, the neck width is 3.5 inches. So for the back, I'm taking 1.5 inches for my back neck width. 1.5 inches. Then for the front, I'm taking 4 inches. So from this my neck width now is where my shoulder slope will connect to. So my shoulder slope, I'm taking 2 inches. Let me do 2 inches. Then I'm going to connect it to my neck width. So now, this is my hip line. At the hip line now, the hip I'm working with is the hip measurement of 50 inches. So that 50 inches divided by 4 will give us 12.5. So that is my 12.5 points here. So I'm adding extra 5 inches here at the hip. So my knee, I have a 12.5 plus 5 inches, that's 17. So my knee now, that 12.5 that I have there, I will remove 1.5 from it. That's, I'm having 11 inches at my knee now. 11 inches at my knee. And I'm adding only my sewing allowance of 1 inch. That is what I'm adding at my knee. So now I'm going to curve this. I will curve it from this my shoulder slope to meet my 5 inches here that I added to my hip From there I will curve it to meet the 1 inch I use for my knee. So what I'm going to do now is from here I'll just come this way. I hope you have seen what I just did. I'll just come this way to the 1 inch I added. This is my knee line and this is my 1 inch I added. So from here now I'm going to just connect it to reach my flare. So the flare I'm working with, I'm just using 16 inches here. Remember that the fabric is on fold, so I'm taking 16 inches here for my flare. So I'll just connect it from this my knee now to that 16 inches point. The 16 inches is inclusive the sewing allowance. So 16 inches, sorry, I measured it on the wrong one. So the 16 inches point is supposed to be here. That's the extension. So this is it. So now I'm going to cut this out. But before I cut it out, like I said, I'm going to alter here. My own is not going to look the way that one is. So this is just a circular form. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put it here. Then I will draw my circle this way. I'll put it at that same point. I'll do another one. I hope you are seeing what I'm doing. Make sure that they are on the same line. You see what I'm doing? I just did there now. So I'll put again. So this is what I'll be doing till I get to this my knee line. So I hope you are seeing it. This is what I have now. Till it gets here. See the connecting point. Have you seen it? So I'm going to cut it out now. So you can see I'm taking my time to cut it out. So this is what I have now. So I'm going to use this to cut out my lining also, but I'm going to line it all down so that the style will come out very well. So now I'm cutting out my slope, my shoulder slope. So I'm trying to curve my neckline now. That's for both the front and the back. So I'm going to cut out the front neckline now. You see, I left the back. I'm cutting the back neckline now. See, I left the front. So I'm cutting the back. To indicate my neck width here. Remember I said I'm using 4 inches for my front neckline. So I'm going to input my 4 inches here. So now I'm trying to off my front neckline. So I'm cutting it out now. So this is it. So now, like I said before, I'm going to use this to cut out my lining, but I'm also going to gum interface on my lining. So when I'm done doing that, we'll start the sewing of this gown. I'm going to turn this neckline. I'll turn the front and the back. So this is the right side of my fabrics. So I'm going to, I've gum my interface on the two edges, both on the fabrics and on the lining. So I'm putting it right side facing each other, right side of the fabric facing the right side of the lining. I'll put it this way. I will sew on it. I will also, when I'm done sewing on it, I will notch it and top stitch on it. I'm done sewing the neckline, and I've also notched it and top stitch on it. So I'm going to turn it right side facing each other, then right side facing each other. I will sew the hem together. I'll put the lining on it and sew it together. So as you can see, I'm done sewing the hem. So what I'm going to do now is, this is the shoulder. Make sure I bring the lining and my fabrics together here at the shoulder. Make sure they are aligned together so that I can sew on this. So I will start sewing now this way. I'll just start sewing on both sides, and also I will align it very well. The lining and the fabrics will be equal. I will sew it on both sides of this front, this, and I'll also sew the back. So I'm done stitching on it now, on both sides. So now I'm going to notch on it round. Please, when you are notching, take note of this place. Make sure you notch there, and be careful when you are notching, so that you will not cut through your thread. So I'm going to notch all around now. So I'm done notching it now. So I'm going to turn it to the right side. I'll just put hand from the shoulder and turn it to the right side. So I will arrange it very well and iron. So I'm done turning it and ironing. This is what I have now. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to fix the zip for the back pattern, which is this. To fix the zip here now. So I'll put it this way, right side facing each other, and make sure that the neck aligned together. So I'm going to take note of where my zip will stop. Then I will close this place to the hemline with my seam allowance of 1 inch. Here I'll close it down. Then I'll fix my zip this side. I'm done fixing the zip. This is the zip. I've also ironed it. So the next thing we're going to do now is to join the shoulders. So we are going to place the material right side facing each other. Right side facing each other. You make sure that the neckline align. Then you arrange it. Make sure you arrange it very well. Then you now sew with your sewing seam allowance. You also do same to this side, align the neckline, and also sew it with your seam allowance. Okay, I'm done joining the shoulder. So now we are going to shape. We are shaping from the right side. We are sewing on the right side. So now I'm going to take my sleeve opening. The sleeve opening I'm taking is 10 inches. I can make it 11 inches. Let me make it 11 inches for my sleeve opening. That's my sleeve opening. So Then on this my sleeve opening, I'm going to input my bust measurements there. So you can see this line here. This is my center front. So this is serving as my center front now. That's where all my measurement is going to start from. So on this my sleeve opening point now, I'm going to input quarter of my bust circumference. My bust I'm working with is 42 inches. When you divide it by 4, it will give you 10 and a half. Then I'm putting half inch for ease. That will be 11 inches. So on this place now, I'm taking 11 inches here. I will also take 11 inches on this side. So the waist I'm working with is 18 inches. This is the waistline here. 18 inches. So the waist I'm working with is 38, that is 9 inches. So I'm putting 9.5 inches. So I'm putting half inch for ease, that will be 40. So on this, from this my center front line here, I'm taking 10 inches here. I will also take 10 inches on this side from my center front line. That's where I'm taking it from. I'm taking 10 inches here. So I'm going to take my hip point of 26 inches. That's where my hip is. So I will also do the same on this side, 26 inches. So the hip I'm working with is 50 inches. When you divide it by 4, it will give you 12.5. So I'm putting half for ease, that is 13. So I'm going to measure 13 on this side, or I can maintain my 12.5. Let me just maintain my 12.5 here. So on this side, I will also maintain my 12.5. So now I'm going to connect the points together because that's what will guide my sewing. So then from here now, come to the hip. So I'm going to sew this way to my hip. Then on the knee, this is my knee point. I'm trying to push this forward so that you will see what I'm doing. So on the knee, I'm going to minus 1.5 inch from what I have on my hip. So on the hip we have 12.5 inches. When I minus 1.5 inches, it will give us 11 inches. So on this my knee here, I'm taking 11 inches on my knee. That is here. So from this my hip now, I'm going to sew it this way to the 11 inches. So this is the point I'm going to shape outside. Then from here now, I'm shaping from my knee down, I'm shaping it inside. Now I'm going to first close from the inside. From the inside, I'm trying to push this up. My table is not much. So from the inside, I'm sewing from the inside. I will close from my hem here to my knee from the inside. Then after closing the both sides from the inside, I will now shape here from the front. Okay guys, I'm done shaping our gown, and this is how it came out. This is the outcome. You can give it a trial at home So easy to make. See how beautiful it looks on the design. See it. I hope you are seeing it. See how beautiful this look on it. I hope you are seeing it. You can give it a trial. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. If you have not subscribed, please do me a favor to subscribe. It means a lot to me. Thank you to my returning subscriber. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for those stopping by for the first time. Please don't forget to put on the notification bell so that you'll be notified whenever I post a new video. Thank you and God bless you. See you in the next tutorial. Bye.